This is Bill Kelliher from the band Mastodon, and you're watching Morgan Richards interviews, and be sure to like and subscribe.
Hey, I'm Morgan Richards from Radio Cardiff, backstage at the Reading Festival here. I'm very pleased to say that I'm joined now by a band who have hit the high road everywhere and once more round the sun over the last decade and a half. It's the wonderful Bill of Mastodon.
Hello, how do you do?
Hey man, you right?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Yeah, how's things?
Oh, things are good. We've been out, we've had about 6-7 months off, and we are just wrapping up about a 3.5-week tour of the UK and Europe. And here we are at Reading and Leeds tomorrow. And then we have one more headlining show in Athens, Greece, which will be beautiful. And then we head home for, until holidays and Christmas and stuff like that. I think our plan is to possibly record a new record in October and just take the rest of the year off. So, yeah.
Okay.
We're in a good place now.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. And as you said, you're a band who are always either on the road or writing new material in some shape or form. But with it being nearly 2 years now since the release of Once More Around the Sun, I understand work is truly underway towards the next album. As you said, you're going to be going to the studio around October time to record it, but how far along would you say the process is at the moment?
Well, in the past 6 months, I've built a studio in my basement where, I could sit down there and really write and concentrate. So I feel like, out of the 11 or 12 songs that we've got, demoed with vocals and a lot of lyrics, but not the lyrics are always the last things to kind of shape up together. I think we're pretty close. I think it's not going to take very long to get in the studio and knock it out. So hopefully an early 2017 release.
Okay, well, fantastic. And every time you release new material, you always state that you're always trying to evolve and make something different. Is there yet a distinct vibe of where this music could be going?
Well, I mean, it's hard for me to say because it's kind of like a garden. You plant everything and it starts to grow, and you kind of see what it looks like, but it always grows into something a little different. Like, if we have like a clean part here, or a part that's we're not so sure it should be heavy, it might turn into a totally acoustic part that goes on and grows into something bigger. And a part on a song where I didn't think there would be a guitar solo, now there's a guitar solo there. Some of the proggier stuff we do usually gets a little proggier. Everything kind of starts to, tenfold when you get into the studio. It's just put each piece under the microscope and kind of mold it into more of, what you really want it to be. Because when you're writing demos, you're kind of writing stuff off the cuff. I mean, I'm just kind of like, oh, we've got this cool part, we got that cool part. What do we use to transition? And it's kind of just like racking your brain, and it doesn't always come naturally. It's like, oh, I got that, and then sometimes that always doesn't translate when you get in the studio. It's like, we could write something better than that. Let's try this. So you never really know, but what I can tell you is it definitely sounds like Mastodon.
Yeah.
And there are peaks and valleys of one extreme to the other. But to me, there's a lot of the things that I wrote, sound like Once More Around the Sun, but even delving deeper into all those nooks and crannies of progression and a lot of like catchy catchy choruses and just melodic verses and stuff like that, but not so much like Motherlode. Like, that's pretty poppy for us, probably as poppy as we'd ever be sounding, but not quite in that direction, but trying to get into more of like a darker, like, it's hard to say dark and pop at the same time, but to me, it's an easy way to, when something's like pops and it's really speaks to you and it's catchy, like something you want to hear again. Like you hear it and you're like, because I like to go back to things that when I'm writing, something that kind of comes full circle. Not on every song, but a lot of the songs that I've written for this record are like that. Like they need to come back to the chorus to like bring back that same good feeling you got in the beginning. So that's just me. That's just how I like to tie everything up nice and neatly most of the time, you know.
All right, well, great to hear. And one thing I have to mention to you is this crazy relationship you have with Games of Thrones over the years, writing a special score for this series and making cameo appearances in the show itself. How did this all first start? Because you're all massive fans of the show beforehand too.
Yeah. I mean, I was late to it, like I am with most television shows or movies or anything. I'm just not hip enough or have the time enough to like know what's going on television. You know, I never watch it at home, but when we were on tour a few years ago, we had a guy with us who's just like, dude, you have not seen Game of Thrones? Sit down right now and start watching it because you'll love it. He's like, it's so amazing, and it's like right up your alley. Like, you're gonna love the way you like it. So I sat there and watched like 3 or 4 episodes, and I watched an entire season in like a week. I was just like, wow, it's amazing. I can't believe I hadn't caught on to it. For a couple years, it just kind of passed me by. But we played at Nebworth Castle Sonosphere a couple years ago, like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and D.B. Weiss was there with some of the characters, some of the actors from Game of Thrones. The guy who plays Sam and his girlfriend, they have the little baby. I guess they were boyfriend and girlfriend in real life, but they were there. And they were talking with Brent, or the guitar player, and he's like, he said they love our band, and we're like, well, we love your show. I mean, well, how do we get on the show? I mean, you got so many extras, like dudes with big hairy beards, and we would love to do anything. And it just coincidentally happened to be that we were playing in Ireland. It was back in October, I think 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, maybe it's 2 years ago now. I guess this October will be 2 years. And we happened to be playing over there, same time they were filming season 6. No, season 6? Yeah, I think it was season 6. What are they on now, 7? Well, it was an epic battle scene, and they're like, we got the perfect place for you guys to be. And we ended up flying into Dublin, and then we got ourselves to Belfast early in the morning to get into our garb and sit in the makeup chairs. And I guess D.B. Weiss, he's just a big fan of metal and Mastodon. He came to our gig. We just played in Belfast 2 weeks ago, and he was there, and he had his Mastodon White Walker shirt on. I mean, doing that song was just really epic for me. I felt like it was when Braun had first showed me, because it was really Braun wrote all the lyrics, and then he and I like put together the guitar, the melody and everything. And when we were recording it, I was like, this is really gonna be fucking something unique. It's a great show, even if it wasn't a show or about a show. The lyrics are really deep, and they tell the story of what's going on with the White Walkers and the man versus man or humans, and how it doesn't matter if you're a king or a pauper or regular person, like the undead don't care. Like White Walkers are going to kill every one of you, so why fight amongst yourselves? You should turn and try to fight the White Walkers. So all that was encapsulated into this song, and it was just a different song for us. It was, it was real light and kind of dreamy, and it just had a really special moment in time when we were doing it. And I just felt like, wow, we're really going out on a weird limb, and I like it. It's cool.
Yeah.
And he enjoyed it as well, I guess, because he's inviting us back to do some more on-screen camera, because I said, technically we're not dead. We came back from the dead in the episode, so
okay.
let's keep going.
Yeah, well, fantastic. And with all that now, as you mentioned, just going to be extremely busy, continuing to tour and then head back into the studio in October. But what else can we really expect from Mastodon now in the very near future?
Well, not a lot, because when we go in the studio, we kind of shut the doors and we don't come out. We've got a couple gigs left on this tour. We have a gig in October back home in Atlanta, where we live, which is kind of a big deal. And then that's just probably go silent for a little while. I mean, I've got a new ESP guitar that's just come out that it's an Eclipse, but it's got like my pickups in it and everything. But there's also a sister guitar to it that I designed, like the actual shape and color design and the pickup for that as well, called the Sparrowhawk, which hopefully will be coming out fairly soon as well. So I'm excited about that. I have a new amp called the Butterslacks with Dave Friedman, tonemerchants.com, and I'm pretty excited about that. So I'll probably be doing like little appearances supporting my products and just trying to do what I do in this world of rock and roll.
Yeah. Okay, well, fantastic. Well, that's about it. Cheers, Bill, for taking time out to have a quick chat with me.
Sure.
Yeah, best luck now in the future, and hopefully catch you again very soon.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cheers.